Today we're going to start learning how to mix. We've got 7 audio tracks recorded live in a basement on an 8-channel interface. We recorded it in a basement. Maybe it's going up on our Bandcamp or something. We're not going to send it to an outside mastering engineer. So the absolute very first thing we're going to do is start mastering this puppy. Let's get a basic mastering chain going on our stereo bus. I'm going to start with an EQ just in case we need it. Going to throw on a compressor and a limiter. All right, now that we have those on our master bus, I'm going to disable them. The EQ is just in case we need it. I have a feeling we're going to cut some mud. Probably boost some highs overall, but I don't know for sure until I get into it, so we're going to leave that disabled. Okay, the compressor. These Logic compressors have a lot going on. It's very confusing. First thing I'm going to do is turn off the auto gain because it doesn't work very well. So auto gain off. Just using the default setting here because I have a feeling it's going to be just a transparent compressor without a lot of like analog color to it. And that's what we want for right now, just a little bit of transparent compression for the whole mix. So I'm going to play the song and make some slight adjustments here. It actually looks like a good amount of gain reduction for what I'm going for here. I'm going to leave it. All I'm going to do is bring the makeup gain up a little bit because we're compressing it some. We need to bring that gain back up to get it to the same level it was before it came into the compressor. I'm going to go ahead and loop a loud part of the song. All right, that looks great. Let's flip it on and off. All right, so we notice the level doesn't go up and down a drastic amount when we flip it on and off, so it's set pretty well. We have a compressor on our master bus now. Let's set our limiter. We're going to take this Logic limiter and we're going to make it like a fake version of a transparent mastering limiter. We're going to crank the look ahead way up, bring the release to its fastest setting, and what I like to do is go to -1 output level. That assures no possibility of clipping in our final bounce. Now we start to set this limiter. Limiter actually isn't doing anything yet. We need to pump up the gain going into it so it creates some gain reduction. On a rock mix, you definitely might be about 4 to 6 dB gain reduction on your master limiter. All right, that's a great place to start this mix. Let's hear what it sounds like with that mastering chain on and off. Let's mess around with that EQ a little bit. Find the muddiest frequency, bring it up so you can hear it, then take it out. Let's bring up those highs. All right, with some EQ, compression, and limiting settings like this on your master bus, we're going to do a lot less legwork on each individual track, and everything is going to come out the better for it. Those are the main things you need to know. Let's go into some optional steps that can make things even better. The first thing is going to be a level meter plugin. We're going to put this at the beginning of the chain, and now we can see the level of our entire mix feeding into this mastering chain. That way we can keep headroom going into this series of plugins. That looks great, almost perfect, 6 dB of headroom. Another thing we can do in line with this is to put a gain plugin even before that level meter. That way, if we're overloading that level meter, Or if we want to hit it a little harder, we can just turn up or down the entire mix feeding into that signal chain. All right, so we can leave that on. We can disable it just so we know we're not using it. We can leave our level meter up in the corner if we want. All right, so the next optional thing I want to put on is some saturation. This could be like a tape plugin that a lot of people like to put on their entire bus. Could be like a console emulation. We're not going to buy any fancy plugins to do this. We're just going to find a distortion plugin in Logic. We're going to go with Overdrive. All right, let's see what we can do with these controls. First thing I know we're going to do is we're going to turn this tone knob all the way up. We don't really need that. If we wanted to roll off the tone, we could do it with an EQ. So we're going to leave that all the way up. Now we're just going to play with this drive level. Hear how it sounds. I like to crank things to hear what they're doing. We don't want to go that far, but if you hear what it's doing and then you dial it back, you can put in exactly the amount you want. Let's try that. Now let's flip it on and off. All right, that sounds cool, but it's increasing the level or the perceived level a lot. So I want to bring down the output gain a bit. That way, when we turn it on and off, we can hear what it's really doing, not just making everything louder. All right, so what that does is it just kind of fills out the sound of the whole mix. When people were recording and mixing through tape machines and consoles, all through the history of rock music, there were all sorts of things that were adding distortion and harmonics, whatever you want to call them. And we're just throwing one stage of that on this simple mastering chain. All right, so as we're going, we're checking out how these things are hitting, making sure we haven't changed one thing and now we're overloading everything. Everything looks and sounds great, so we can actually start our mix now that we've finished mastering it. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff to see what I do next in this mix. Cheers.